Hi guys, it's Animation Recapped here. Today, we will be covering a drama, romance movie called The Garden of Words. It is June, and it's raining. We see 15-year-old high school student and aspiring shoemaker Takao, who is riding the train from school. Takao looks around him as he vividly describes bodies, warm and wet, pushing against his back, his jacket damp from other people's umbrellas, and the station's chill breeze from the air conditioner rushing towards his face. Takao takes out his umbrella and walks out of the station gates, realizing it's still pouring outside. Takao recalls how much he loves the rain, ever since he was a little child, thus explaining why he doesn't take the transfer during rainy days. He instead enjoys the rainy walks. As it rains, Takao decides to take a walk to the Shinjuku-Jun National Garden. He looks around, enjoying the beautiful scenery as rain gently falls on Mother Nature. As he continues walking along the garden, suddenly, the face of a beautiful 27-year-old woman sitting by herself catches his attention. He decides to walk towards her. Takao takes out his notebook to draw a model of her shoes. He looks up and notices the girl eating chocolates and drinking a beer can to quench her thirst. Takao thinks it's a weird food combo, but he can't help but ask her if they know each other. To which she replies, "I don't think we do." The girl looks at him again, and before leaving, she smiles and says, "Clap of thunder skies. Perhaps rain comes. If so, will you stay with me?" He thought it might have been a quote. Nonetheless, he was left confused. Takao is cooking dinner for him and his brother. As they eat, his brother tells him he is moving in with his girlfriend next month. He is shocked by the news. During the next few days, Takao is dissatisfied with the subway school lifestyle as he mocks the idea of what's socially acceptable in his society. The next morning he wakes up happy to realize it is raining. He skips class in order to take a walk to the garden in hope of seeing the girl again. He takes the stroll through the garden and sees her sitting in the same spot. They both greet each other good morning. Takao can't help but draw her shoe as they sit in silence. Seconds later, the girl asks him if it's a school holiday. To which Takao looks at the beer and teases her by asking her if she is on an early retirement. The girl chuckles and says she had skipped work again. He tells her that his mother drinks a lot and that she should eat something healthy in the morning. She says she has snacks and takes out a handful of chocolate bars from her bag, leaving Takao in complete shock. The girl knows it looks crazy, but she promises she is more sane than most people. She tells him she is just another human being with little quirks. They both chat for a bit until Takao tells her he must go, since he only cuts class on rainy days. The girl tells him that perhaps they will see each other again since it's going to rain again someday. A few weeks pass and it's Kanto's rainy season. Takao rushes to the garden, where he meets the girl again. For the next following months they meet each other on rainy days, sharing each other's company. As the months continue to pass, Takao works on his off days and goes to school on the sunny days. Eventually he meets the girl again, and finally, as he opens up about his dream of becoming a cobbler, also known as a shoemaker, he tells her he sucks, but he is really passionate about making something that's actually real. As the days passed, before he falls asleep and seconds after Takao wakes up, the only thing on his mind is hoping it rains. Because on sunny days, he was somewhere he didn't want to be, either at work, instead of his shop creating shoes, or at school, surrounded by children. He envies the life of the girl, doing what she is meant to do. Takao says that she represents every secret that the world far from his reach holds. However, Takao knows that she only looks at him as a child. It's raining again, and the girl skips work again. Takao finds himself sleeping next to the girl. He reminisces his past and the day the family decided to buy their mother a present. It was a pair of beautiful sparkling shoes. Later that day, in the girl's apartment, she seems to be going through a tough time in her life as well. Her room is messy and is mysteriously unmotivated to go to work. She tells herself that since that unknown moment, she has been feeling nothing but lies. It is now July, and the girl gives Toka a shoe book as a gift. He is happy and tells her he is actually in the process of making a shoe. The girl asks if it's for himself, but Toka says they are women's shoes. However, he says he is having trouble graphing out the right size. The girl is surprised to know they are shoes for women. As she smiles, she takes her shoe off and lets Takao measure her feet in order to help him complete his project. Moments later, out of the blue, she says that it isn't like walking anymore. It's more like falling. Takao asks her if it's her job that's been troubling her, but she says it's more like everything. Takao realizes the pain she is in, but he knows nothing about her, not her job, nor her age, or even her name, and he can't stop thinking about her. It hasn't rained for a while and now it's August. Tokao works part-time during the whole summer in order to pay for his school's tuition. Suddenly, in the girl's apartment, the girl is seen crying. Later in the day, she tells herself that she has always been here stuck in the same place. As months pass, Tokao tells himself he misses the girl, but if he clings to those feelings he will never escape the hole society has shoved him into. As he tries to climb out, Tokao tells himself that the only way to help her is to keep working on a pair of shoes that'll make her want to get up and finally walk and find her way. A month has passed. It is now September. Tokao is in school talking to his friends. They tease him for always being late to school and skipping first class on rainy days. He laughs and tells them he always take the day off when it rains. However, moments later, as they walk towards their classes, Tokao and the girl from the garden see each other in the school's hallway. They both quickly stop in complete shock. The girls from the school quickly start swarming her. Later, Tokao finds out the shocking truth about the girl. Her name is Yukino. She's a teacher at the school who had been skipping work due to the extreme bullying she was receiving from certain students. Someone's boyfriend at the school thought she was beautiful, so they started spreading false rumors out of jealousy. Those rumors got to her parents, which forced her into a solitary world of loneliness. In the evening, Tokao decides to confront the bullies who ruined Yukino's life. He slaps the girl who started it, but gets beat up by the bigger senior. The next morning they both meet and Tokao tells Yukino that even when it doesn't rain he will be here. Finishing the verse from the day they met, he recalls Yukino saying in old Japanese literature, "A clap of thunder skies. Perhaps rain comes. If so, will you stay with me?" In which Tokao replies that his views and how he feels about her hasn't changed. All of a sudden, thunder and lightning appears as rain starts to fall. For a while, they both take cover, but shortly after, they decide to go to Yukino's apartment. The rain is still singing loud in the background as she irons their clothes. Tokao decides to cook something special since all she eats is chocolates and beer. Yukino makes a hot cup of coffee to complement the food Tokao had made. They sit down, laughing and enjoying each other's company. Suddenly, they both realize that this might be the happiest they have ever been in their lives. Out of nowhere, as he sips his coffee by the rain, he looks at Yukino and whispers, "I love you." Yukino was taken by surprise. However, she suppresses her true emotions and tells Tokao to call her Mrs. Yukino. Proceeds to tell him that she is moving back home next week. She made the decision a while back and the garden was a way of helping her learn how to walk on her own again. She thanks Tokao for everything he had done. Suddenly, a now broken Tokao looks her in the eyes and thanks her for her hospitality and that it was nice meeting her. As Tokao gathers his stuff, he walks out of Yukino's apartment. Yukino slowly starts to realize the mistake she has just made as she sits crying. Reminiscing their past together, Yukino jumps out of her seat and runs to Tokao. In an attempt to reach him in time, she runs barefoot down the wet staircase, causing her to slip and fall. Yukino quickly gets back up and finds him alone. Tokao turns around and as they cross eyes, he tells her she hated her the second they met and she should forget about him. Tokao screams at her, telling her she's poison. He continues to lash out, telling her that she never believed he could measure up to his dreams, telling her that she was just humoring a kid's fantasies for a while. He yells at her, telling her it's the reason she's been all alone. He finally asks her to tell him how much she hates him. However, a crying Yukino rushes to him and hugs him tight, crying her heart out as she confesses her love for him, telling him every morning she put on a suit for work. But she was scared. She tells Tokao that he saved her. They hold each other, finally realizing the void missing in their lives had finally been filled. It's now winter season and Tokao receives a letter from Yukino, wishing he is doing well, and hoping that the warm days of spring come soon. As Tokao enjoys his own company, sitting next to the shoes he had finished for Yukino, he realizes that she wasn't the only one practicing how to walk. He says that one day, when he can walk much further on his own, he will go see her.